folks, it's time. It's time for one of the most hyped events of the year. The end of January, and I'm not talking about the Pro Bowl. It is time for the Royal Rumble matches. And oh boy, we got a lot to talk about and a lot of categories to get through. So we added an extra person to come out to help us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Luna Corva.
You know, it's kind of fitting that you bring me out for the Royal Rumble, because just like the Royal Rumble, I'm overhyped with very little substance to actually add to the product.
You may remember Luna Corva from such other videos as our Wrestle Kingdom predictions video and other things.
And if you do, there is counseling available. You are not alone.
Yeah. I think Bliss requires counseling every time you show up in the D&D.
I'm not apologizing.
Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to get through. So we have a lot of stuff to get through, and there's 2 Rumble matches. So we're gonna split this up right down the middle, starting with what the heck? Let's start with the men. We have a couple we have 6 categories. Well, sorry, 5 categories to get through. One we have 2 winners. 2 winners for. So we're gonna start off with first entrant. Now, or rather, first entrance. This is the person who's gonna enter at number 1 or number 2 to start things off. So, Kanako, who do you have entering at number 1 or number 2?
I have El Idolo, Cien Almas.
Ooh.
It's Cien Almas. He needs a good thing. I don't see him winning it like some people predicted earlier in the year and later last year, but I see him being one of the first entrants.
Okay. Nikki, who do you got?
I have Mustafa Ali. Like, they seem to be giving him one heck of a push right now. Like, he's come in and has immediately established himself as one of the guys. In fact, like, he's already considered by some to be a bit of a dark horse to win the whole thing, which I think is a little optimistic, but I think him coming out at number 1 and lasting 45 minutes is very reasonable to expect with how he's been booked so far.
Okay. Luna Corver, who do you got?
All right. I am going with Seth Rollins. The way I see it, and I think the rest of you agree, the number 1 entry should be someone who you know can wrestle a good match, because they're going to be everyone's first impression for the Royal Rumble, and you want to start the Royal Rumble off hot and good, and Seth Rollins has consistently been that guy.
That's funny you say that, because I also picked Rollins going in at number 1 or number 2. I think he's going to kick things off really well, but depending on how long it goes, well, that's up to the rest of us. So, next on it, next category is surprise entrant. Now, this could be any number of people, but we're not counting returns from injury. So, if you see Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn return, it doesn't count. So, this could be an surprise person from NXT, both the American and UK brand, or an alumnus or someone just completely out of the blue. So, I think I'll go first with this one. I'm thinking Tommy Dreamer's gonna show up. If there's anything that could spice things up, it's gonna be a little bit of hardcore.
Tommy the Whale Dreamer.
Yep.
He's got to get that money for his House of Hardcore stuff, so might as well.
Okay. Nikki, who do you got?
I have Pete Dunne. Like, he has pretty much done everything that you can possibly do with the NXT UK brand. He's got Varta coming in and about to murder the shit out of him on the way out there. So, Pete Dunne, not quite a main roster jump. I think he'll go to NXT Prime for a spell. But I think Pete Dunne makes a surprise appearance and does some cool stuff there.
So you're saying that he's Pete done with everything in NXT UK?
Boo.
That is what I'm saying.
Boo!
He is done with everything. He is done with everything.
I'm going to carry this on before we get into horrible, horrible joke territory.
Too late.
My surprise entrant is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, because similarly, there is not much left for him to do on NXT here, but I think it would be nice to see him come on and do, even if he just has a short spell, like eliminates one or two people, and then gets eliminated. And who knows, he might, like, we have seen people show up at the Rumble, appear, and then disappear back to NXT.
Yep.
Right.
Luna Corva, your pick.
Okay, first of all, Kanako, with all due respect, and I mean that sincerely, I disagree with you, and I pray that you are wrong. Or at the very least, if he does go into the Royal Rumble, it's going to be a one-and-done thing, and he does not go onto the main roster. Please spare him from the main roster. Now, getting back into positive territory, in honor of our favorite rainbow-colored alicorn, if I may, I'd like to turn this into the realm of pure fantasy booking. My surprise entrant, hold on! My name is Dario Cueto. I'm the owner and promoter of Lucha Underground, and I present to you the next entrant in the Royal Rumble, my brother, the monster, Matanza Cueto!
That's going to be very hard, considering he's signed with Ring of Honor.
Luna, you goddamn madman.
Look, I said pure fantasy booking. We can go with who we want. That's who I'd want to see. I mean, assuming WWE doesn't, completely fuck it up. But like I said, fantasy booking. I'm trying to be positive today.
And you know what? This one's so far out of left field, I will accept if it's also Jeff Cobb.
I'm all for the power of positivity, but the power of contracts says otherwise.
I mean, they could have always faked the. I mean, to be fair, there would be ways to get around that. Like one, the contract stuff was a work, or two, WWE Ring of Honor and Lucha Underground made a deal with each other for mutual benefit cooperation. Like I said, fantasy booking here.
Yep. Anyway, next, who's going to last the longest? Who is going to be the Iron Man? Nikki.
I struggled on this one, but I think it's going to be Seth Rollins. I think he'll pop up pretty early, not one or two, but pretty early in the Rumble, and last for a good goddamn long time. Like, until the final four. Like, we're talking a 15-minute run in the Rumble.
Okay.
15 minutes? Iron Man? Oh, 50, not 15.
50. 50.
Yes, this isn't 1995.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Luna Corva, who do you got?
I think Mustafa Ali and Seth Rollins are going to last, like, with each other all the way until, like they're basically going to be fighting each other at various points all the way through the Rumble.
All right. Luna Corva, who do you got?
I am actually going to repeat both myself and echo Nikki. I'm going Seth Rollins too. And I'm actually saving my explanation to that till I get to the winner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm also in agreement. I'll say that when we get to the winners. But Kanako, I think you have someone different?
Yes. I have my first entrant, Cien Almas, because he needs something to kind of like assist with his push, and being the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble is a good way to do that, instead of just giving it to someone else.
Mm-hmm. All right, next category, most eliminations. Okay, I'll do mine first. I think the person who's going to get the most eliminations, Cesaro. It's a little out of left field, but if the likes, if we see like a performance to the likes of like 2015, where he, of like a 2015 Cesaro, I think we can see a lot of eliminations in this from this guy. Kanako, who do you got?
I have the wonderful Drew McIntyre. Because it's Drew McIntyre. He likes to kick people in the face really hard.
Luna, what do you got?
He does. Confirm.
If we're including my dream match thing, then obviously Matanza. But if we're being realistic here, I'd say Lars Sullivan, because I think they're going to debut him at the Royal Rumble, and having him the one to get the most eliminations would probably be the best way to immediately establish him as the new monster heel.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that working, especially if they start doing something with him post Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. And I think Nikki, I think you're the last one. Who do you got?
I'm taking Seth Rollins. I was debating whether it would be him or Drew, but I think Drew is going to pop up like at number 28 or 29. So he's not going to have that much time to get a lot of eliminations. But I think that Rollins will be in it for so long that just by virtue of being around that long, he'll pick up 6 or 7 eliminations.
Okay. And finally for the men categories, who we have winning. We have 2 actually separate ones, who we think will win and who we want to win. So let's go down the line. Kanaka, who do you got?
I have Drew McIntyre because Drew McIntyre will win because it's Drew McIntyre.
Okay. Who do you want to win, though?
Who I want to win is the returning Bray Wyatt. Because, well, give Bray something? Anything? Please?
I would like that. Okay.
I think there's something else you need to do with Bray Wyatt aside from that, but I like your pick.
All right, I'll go next. The person I think will win will be Seth Rollins. I think he's going to start from 1 or number 2, and he's going to go all the way. He's going to pull a Mysterio or a Michaels. But who I
or
want...
a redacted.
Or a redacted, yes. Who I want to win, however, The Miz. I think he's been doing excellent since 2016, having him win the Rumble and go up against Daniel Bryan as a tweener against Daniel Bryan to finally culminate their feud and finally put him over as the established person on the roster, or at least on the SmackDown roster. I think would be excellent for him. This is just fantasy booking. I want to see The Miz beat Daniel Bryan at Mania.
But Miz has to face the best in the world at WrestleMania.
Oh, you could do that. You could do that either Fastlane or Elimination Chamber.
But it's Shane McMahon. He's the best in the world. He has to fight at WrestleMania.
Sad part is that's actually probably what they're going to do.
That's why I say I want Miz to win.
Shane and Miz probably. But, eh.
All right, Nikki, who do you got?
Made this depressing. Hooray!
All right, so I think Drew McIntyre is going to win this thing. Like he's got the machine behind him basically, and like he has shown that he can be the face of the company. He is everything he has taken, he has run with. So if he were to pick up a win at the Royal Rumble, I would have no qualms with that. He could kill Brock at Mania and be the champion we all want him to be. Now, for my second pick, I am going into stupid fantasy book territory. I want Mustafa Ali to win the goddamn Royal Rumble. Because he's got a story thing going with Daniel Bryan. Like, he's pinned Daniel, for one. He pinned him in that tag match. And then afterwards, he kept attacking him and saying, "You don't deserve to be here. You don't belong here. You're not on our level, blah, blah, blah." So if that were to culminate with a match at WrestleMania, which, by the way, isn't going to be in the main event anyway, so you might as well have something interesting and out of left field for it, since the main event's going to be Brock versus whoever is coming out of the Raw side. So let's just have something fucking fun here. Daniel Bryan, Mustafa Ali for the title at WrestleMania. Lottie fucking da.
All right, and Corva, who do you got? And finally, who do you got?
Okay, my will, Seth Rollins. Like Voice, I'm predicting Seth Rollins to pull a Shawn Michaels or a Dinosaur Vagina and just go from number 1 to number go from number 1 all the way. Because, considering the comparison to Shawn Michaels, I think is fitting, because Seth Rollins has kind of turned the Intercontinental Championship back into what it used to be. He's made it the workhorse title again. He's made it that title that was defended constantly, while the world title was a special attraction. And him being the workhorse, I think him going for number 1 all the way is kind of going to be the big capstone for that. Now, here's what I want to happen. Here's where I go into fantasy booking territory. McIntyre and Seth Rollins eliminate each other at the same time, leading to a feud and a match at Fastlane for the title, where Seth Rollins does defeat McIntyre and go on to WrestleMania to fight Brock Lesnar.
So you want something similar to '94, where with Luger and Hart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't good or interesting in any way. That was a terrible meeting.
It was. It was interesting.
Terrible.
Well, the way they did it at WrestleMania was dumb, with having Yokozuna, who is only fat, like that's his only character trait. Like, have him do 2 matches was dumb, but like the way they did it, like having double winners in the Royal Rumble, that's fine.
Wait.
The Rumble meant nothing. We had Bret Hart go up against Yokozuna, lose due to heel fashion, and then we had Hulk Hogan show.
No. That's 9. No. 10 was 94.
Yeah, the stuff with Yoko and Luger and Bret was WrestleMania 10. The Bret Hart stuff was WrestleMania 9.
Still, my point stands.
It doesn't stand. I literally just tore it apart.
Yeah.
My point stands.
You're thinking of the wrong Rumble.
I'm not finished. Because the reason I don't like that Rumble is because instead of having the story be what it was, we could have had a much better story with the whole Hart Foundation. Oh, hey, Owen.
You make an excellent point, but I will say that what made that a failure was for circumstances outside of the simple story of the double elimination. The double elimination itself, with the right people in the right circumstances, which I believe this would be, is a story that could and can and I believe would work.
Yeah, plus they were trying to see if they could push Lex Luger still, so yeah.
But we've also since then had a situation where that did happen, where they went, no, we're restarting the match.
Well, that was only because of a botch.
Yeah.
Still happened.
But anyway,
I care about the rules, damn it.
At least they're not the Queensberry rules. Anyway, next, female Rumble. We don't have a surprise entrant, so it's just going to be 4 of them. So let's start with first entrant and Luna Corva. Who do you got?
Well, it's funny you say that, because technically my pick is sort of a surprise entrant. I'm going with Io Shirai. Again, we want the first entrant to be a good worker, and Io, if you've seen her work, she is an excellent worker.
You got the best goddamn moonsault ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she'd be a good one to start us off with.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, Nikki, who do you got?
I'm going in a similar vein. I'm going to take Kairi Sane. Like,
you're insane.
She's going to be somebody that can make the crowd hyped for right at the start. She can last for a while. She's a good worker, puts on great matches. So, yeah, give me Kairi.
Okay, well, I'm going a little different because this entrance only works if she's enters at number 1 or number 2. Mandy Rose.
Huh?
Why? Does this only work at 1 or 2?
The glamour entrance that Mandy Rose has. It only works if she enters in at number 1 or number 2.
I want to point out something about the whole glamour entrances and that kind of thing, I'm going to point to two things. One,
Go ahead.
straight edge society. Two, and this is my favorite one, too cool.
Okay, you're
what?
gonna need to give us context.
Oh, I know what he's talking about. Like, when in 2010, when CM Punk basically took up the stage for the first half of for the first third of the Rumble, and talked his head off, and then when Too Cool came in, like one after another, and then just did the dance in the middle. But I'm talking about like solely just entering.
Long entrances have happened before in the Rumble.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm going solely on just the Vaseline on the camera lens, zoom in. I'm Andy. That's what I'm getting at.
All right.
Anyway, Kanako, who do you got?
I have Ember Moon because rookie, air quotes, rookie needs she's one of those people where if you put her in either 1 or 2, she will get the crowd to pop. And that's kind of the point. The point of 1 and 2 is to either get the crowd to react negatively, like Mandy Rose would, or positively, like I think Ember Moon would. In fact,
Actually,
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them enter 1, 2.
Cool.
Speaking of Mandy Rose, Boyce, you just gave me an idea with her.
Oh, with Mandy?
Yeah. Let's say she does come out at number 2. So you have like Io or Ember Moon come out, or Kairi Sane come out at number 1. Mandy Rose comes out at number 2, does a big entrance, comes into the ring, and then just immediately gets tossed right out.
But that's not how the Rumble works.
For me.
Well, it did work for Rusev in 2016.
It also happened with Simon Dean during the 2006 Royal Rumble, which was going to start. Then Simon Dean came out. My name is Simon Dean, and thrown out.
The match had already started. If they're 1 or 2, they've got to wait for the bell to ring.
Yeah.
No, like then bell rings, thrown out immediately.
Yeah. It can work, but we'll see.
There is a reason why I think Mandy Rose will not get eliminated, and that's because of Vince's throbbing boner for blondes. I am not wrong.
Yeah, but I don't think he sees Mandy at that level just yet, and I think that he'd be okay with having Mandy take a big comedy. Ha, you only lasted 5 seconds in the Rumble. Plus, there hasn't been that person for the Women's Rumble yet. We need that one person who gets bounced after 5 seconds, being the shortest time in the Rumble.
I have a long list of those people. If we were doing surprise entrance, I could give you a 5.
Well, I haven't had one yet, so. All right, next thing.
Next.
Iron Woman.
Yes.
Do you mind if I go first?
Go ahead.
More Ember Moon! Give the girl a spot. Let her be first, and then first or second, and then let her last until, not the final 4, but the last 6 people, that kind of area.
Okay.
So that way you've got she sets a long time, but she doesn't set a time that you couldn't theoretically beat later on and have someone go from 1 to winning.
Okay. Luna, who do you got?
Bailey. We need to start getting back NXT Bailey and not main roster walking 5-year-old Bailey. And yes, she was kind of like that on NXT, but there was more to her character. For instance, the fact that she was actually tough. She could fight, and more importantly, she had endurance. Having her be the Iron Man could actually show that again. That she's not just a pathetic child.
I can work. I'm before that. I'll go next. The person I think is going to be the Iron Woman, Charlotte Flair.
That's fine.
I know.
It's fine.
Twitter's gonna hate you.
Yeah, I know, but it makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It
makes sense for a lot of reasons. Because think about it. Ric Flair was a 60-minute man back when he was like NWA champion. He would put on 60-minute matches, so it makes sense for Charlotte to put on some long matches. And also, like, if she's not going to win the thing, she's got to have something substantial for her. So her being the Iron Man would make a lot of sense for that. So yeah, let's do that. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, and Nikki?
Okay.
I am gonna also take Ember Moon. Like, I think that she'll do something similar to Mustafa Ali and like go a good long time in the Rumble. Like, just she'll come in around number 6 or 7, forget the Mustafa Ali comparison. Anyway, she's just gonna go a long time in the Rumble and like make a name for herself out of there, and maybe get a title shot at Elimination Chamber or something. That'd be nice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Nikki, about what you said about Charlotte, no offense, I think that's a stupid idea. Well, I think that's a stupid reasoning, I should say. And it's also likely the reasoning that the W is going to hate for it, so you're probably going to be right.
You gotta think like WWE sometimes.
I think it'll happen next year.
For that.
I agree with the whole 60-minute thing. That's a great reasoning for it. I just think it's better to do it next year when she can do the 60-minute and win the match.
Okay.
So, like, I just don't like the
Alright.
idea of Charlotte should do this because her dad did it.
Yeah, actually,
Well, she's doing everything else because her dad did it.
I know, that's why, like, I think it's a stupid reasoning, and you're probably right. They will think the same way.
On to most elimination.
Yes. Luna, who do you got?
Becky Lynch. I think that's probably going to be the big spot that the man will take. You know, she comes in and she starts cleaning house.
I'll go next. I think the person who's going to make the most eliminations, Nikki Cross. It's a bit of a wild card, but if anyone could be insane enough to pull off that many eliminations, it'd be Nikki.
If you look up wild card in the dictionary, Nikki Cross has torn out the page, so
yeah,
that makes sense.
Just torn out the page, eaten it, and crapped it out. Well, anyway, Kanako, who do you got?
I have Shayna Baszler because there's not much she can do left in the NXT brand as far as the women's division. So the longer she stays down there, the longer she's just sitting around there doing nothing. So maybe having her move up to the main roster around now might be a good idea.
You know what? It would be kind of interesting if she were to pop up and clear house, and like she's the one who ends up eliminating Ember Moon because they have a whole bunch of history in NXT. So it'd be a nice little reference.
Also, that means you can have her versus Ember Moon in feud at Mania, if you really wanted to do it. Throw it on the main, throw it on the pre-show and such.
I just had an idea. Okay, so remember what I said about Becky Lynch clearing house?
Mm-hmm.
What happens is she starts doing that. She knocks out Shayna Baszler. Then Shayna Baszler comes in, chokes her out, then does that arm-breaking stomp. That obviously doesn't eliminate Becky, but now Becky has to finish the rest of the Rumble with a busted arm.
Ooh.
All right. That works.
Next.
All right. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Right, Nikki, you haven't picked yours, I don't think.
Yeah, I haven't had my most eliminations yet. And I'm going to go the boring option and take Charlotte. Because WWE like to give Charlotte a lot of accolades. So if she's not going to win,
she
might
held
as
the
well either be
women's
the
title
Iron
8
Woman
times.
or get the most eliminations. And I think that a face is going to get the Iron Woman, so most eliminations should go to Charlotte.
She's an 8-time women's champion in WWE already.
They've puffed up Charlotte's accomplishments more than Charlotte has puffed up her boobs.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, she kind of had to have surgery for that. Anyway.
That's what we call in the business talent enhancement.
Anyway, we
Haymakers.
are at the final category. Let's start backwards. Luna Corva, who do you got?
I think I might have given this away already, but screw it. Becky Lynch, I predict as being the winner. I think a lot of us want to see Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey for the title, and that's my will and that's my want.
Nikki?
Yeah, same. I want Becky to win, and I think she will win. Like, I don't really have a second winner for this one.
That's also why I picked her for most eliminations, because my belief is that the one who wins the Rumble needs something besides the win to establish themselves as dominant, especially if they're a babyface winner. So either that's from being the Iron Man or from being the killer who won. And
John Cena.
Yep.
No, I'm pointing out that John Cena, in his big Rumble win, showed up at number 30 and just eliminated a handful of people.
So you're saying John Cena's going to win the Women's Royal Rumble? Gotcha.
Well, with the fact that he has a massive bald spot, maybe he should put on a wig.
Ooh, fucking bird.
Oh, bear in mind, that's kind of my psychology, my booking mentality is the winner of the Royal Rumble, especially if they're a babyface, should have something to establish themselves as worthy of that win during the Rumble.
All right. Next, I'll do this. And this is awkward. I have Becky winning Will, and also I want Becky to win.
It's
I'm
almost like
noticing a trend.
But here's how I think she should win. Pulls a 1997 Royal Rumble.
Oh.
The refs don't catch it, and refs don't catch that she kind of, sort of, maybe got eliminated because they're distracted with something else, and then comes back in and eliminates the person who might have won. So maybe it'd be Charlotte, and they could face that elimination chamber or something.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, do the 1990s, basically the lead up to WrestleMania 13 done right.
So I picked, go figure, Becky Lynch. But I'm going with a different famous Royal Rumble moment. Charlotte goes to eliminate Becky. Becky doesn't get eliminated. Charlotte celebrates. Becky eliminates Charlotte.
Oh.
Pulling
The
the
old
short.
skin the cat. Shawn Michaels, I believe it was British Bulldog?
Yep, 95. That's the right one.
Yes. But, that moment works so well with this feud. That's already, Charlotte eliminating her, thinking she's eliminated her, celebrating, because that's something Charlotte would do. And then Becky just coming in and just going, nope, screw you, I win.
Especially if Charlotte comes out as the number 30 spot, because it ties about the story, Becky works for it, Charlotte comes, Becky has to mountain, Charlotte is flown there on a private jet, flown to the top on a private jet.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from number 30 being our good friend, Mella.
Oh yeah, Carmelo. Carmelo and R-Truth won.
Damn it.
Yeah, they won the number 30 spot in their respective Rumbles.
There's a reason why I didn't mention number 30, because that's very good booking, but predetermined results have decided that number 30 will be R-Truth and Carmella.
So that means R-Truth is going to enter into the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yes,
because it's fucking R-Truth.
That joke is so simply set up that it's a Vince McMahon setup.
I will be disappointed if it doesn't happen, though.
Oh yeah, we all expect it to happen now. So if they don't do it...
Although I will say this, I will be pleasantly surprised if Carmella tries to enter the Men's Rumble at 30. Just to swerve us all.
That would be an interesting twist.
Okay, I think that covers all the Royal Rumble predictions. Luna Cora, thank you so much for coming on and just shooting the shit with us. And
you're welcome. I'm sorry.
We forgive you, kind of. And we'll see you next time.
Our next video is going to be the rest of the Royal Rumble.
Yes,
the
the
matches
rest
that
of
aren't
the
the
Rumble.
Rumbles.
The whole card. Not counting Royal Rumble matches.
Yes, okay.
Right.
Yeah, okay, so, rest Royal Rumble card, and then, okay, that works too. Okay, see you then.